Nice to be joined now by one championship lightweight Antonio Caruso. Massive fight for you coming up. You're up against the former champion Eduard Folayang at one inside the Matrix. Looks like you're in a nice hotel room over there, Shangri-La.
Yeah.
Life is good. How buzzing are you for this one?
Oh man, yeah, this is something that dreams are made of. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, as a kid, well, I mean, not even as a kid, you don't dream of something like this because, something in the movies. You know what I mean? And to be here, to be doing it is yeah, it's a dream come true. But at the same time, it's reality as well. So it's about getting in there and performing now. Like that's one of the biggest things going in from the last fight was it was just humbling to be there and. That was the mindset last time. Where this time it's not happy to be here. It's we're here to do a job. We're here to fight. We're here to win. And obviously I'm super excited to fight Edward. I'm firstly a fan of his. You know what I mean. I watched him. I respect the guy. But now to get the opportunity to fight him and beat him, yeah, I can't wait.
Have you seen a lot? You say you're a fan of his. Have you seen a lot of his body of work? I mean, he is a stalwart for
Yeah,
one championship. He's been here since day one.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how deeply do you know his abilities?
I mean, like in terms of how deeply I know his ability, I don't know. I never fought the guy, I never met the guy, but I've watched pretty much nearly every one of his fights. I've watched him live. I train with Martin, who's fought him. So I guess it's as much information as you can get. Like if besides fighting the guy. So, I feel like I'm super prepared outside of the cage for him. But now come October 30, now I have to fight him. So, you can't go in there and be like, oh, I know everything, I'll beat him. It's not a math test. It's a fight, man. So we're gonna go in there and you know what I mean, I'm gonna use everything that I know about him to beat him. But at the end of the day, I've got to go in there and beat him. So I'm excited for that challenge.
The rumors are, and correct me if this has been confirmed or not, but this could be his last outing, right? Have you heard that?
Yeah, look, obviously at his age, there's always talks of Edward, sorry, of people coming to an end. You know what I mean? The guy's coming off, I think is it 2 or 3 losses in a row now. You know what I mean? So it's that point of his career, but hey, that's his choice. You know what I mean? What him and one championship's choice. What they're going to do for the future. So I think you know what I mean. He'll take this fight, and from there he'll make his decision, and you know what I mean. I can't really make that comment because I've already been asked that question. But how can I comment on his career? So yeah, and if he does decide to retire after this fight, he's had a great career. He'll go down as one of the greats.
Um, yeah, I mean, you mentioned training with Martin. You guys seem to have such a cool thing going over at Sanford MMA. Ong seems to be a bit of kind of the leader of like the father of the crew, but there's so many different characters and also so many hardcore sparring partners over there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the most hardcore, do you think, of the lot of them? Because I've seen like Rumble Johnson, Michael Chandler over there as well. Who is the most hardcore individual in that gym to spar with, and
Oh,
how's the atmosphere over there, generally speaking? I mean, how good has it been?
I mean, in terms of the hardcore guys to spar, luckily I never have to go near Rumble because he's too big for me. And I've openly said I don't want to go near that guy. He's too big for me. I don't want him to touch me. But yeah, guys like one of the most scary guys to spar with is Danny Roberts. He's the hot chocolate UFC guy. He's a menace, man. He's a dangerous man. If you feel like you're fighting for your life and you just train with him, so he's a menace. But yeah, there's a lot of the talent. I mean, it's like a fantasy camp. You got guys like Michael Chandler, Robbie Lawler, Luke Rockhold, Rashad Evans, Rumble, like you said, Linton Vassell, Logan Storley. The list just goes on. I could sit here for like the next five. Jason Jackson. Yeah, you know what I mean. There's just so many names in there. It's ridiculous. But in terms of the atmosphere, that's probably the most defining thing about the gym. Is you go into a gym like that, and personally, when I first come over, I'm like, oh, here we go. There's going to be a lot of egos, a lot of, oh, they're the big boys, we're the little guys, But it's not. It's a real like brotherhood. It's a real community. It's a real, I got your back, you got my back. You know what I mean? And it's very humbling as an athlete and a fighter to be a part of that because, you actually see like actively on all of our social medias, always commenting shouting out, sharing, each other's stuff, and it's actually like very cool to see. Like where I come from, it was almost the opposite. Like people would try and stay away, not give you shine because it's almost like, oh, I don't want him to get shine. Where you'd think it would happen in a place like this, but it doesn't. And that's a credit to Henry, Greg, and the coaches, Cammy. That they've created an atmosphere there that we're all in it together. We're all here together. We're all here to we're all chasing the same dream. You know what I mean? That's one thing I got to say I love about the gym and being a part of that team. It's honestly one of the best things to be a part of, and I'm super proud to come out of there.
How cool has it been ahead of this one? Because it is, in the circle, you're alone. But coming over with Ongla, coming over with Martin, TL Tang as well, how nice has it been to give you a bit of momentum to know that you're all training, you're all working towards that same specific goal, in this case, with this show, this massive show?
Oh yeah, it's huge. You know what I mean? I've been lucky enough to twice fight alongside my brothers, and I mean we've fought on the same cards with both brothers, which is cool. You know what I mean? That was a great experience. But to all go over to to be in Florida together, training together, take the flight over here together to be, and it's just us. You know what I mean? This time, like no one else allowed to be, no friends, no family. It's just me, Martin, Till. The coaches will be over here soon. It's just us like in a little hub, and yeah, it's a cool experience. You know what I mean? It's like having the dream team. You know what I mean? We're here together. We're like a little insurgent team ready to take on the world together. So it's going to be fun, and I'm excited. Yeah, what the week holds ahead.
How fascinated are you by your weight division right now? I mean, a win over the former champ would be great for your own aspirations, but of course, there's another big fight happening in your division. So, with Christian Lee, and Yuri Lapicus, how keen an eye are you going to be keeping on that, or is it difficult to kind of try and stay focused on your own?
Not at all, man. Like honestly, I haven't even considered it, man, because hey, I got a job to do. Like hey, all respect to those boys, but honestly, I don't really care what's going on with them and their fight. I will care about that after I get my win. I'll watch them after. I'll sit down. I'll watch them fight. And analyze what they're doing. But for now, like they can do their thing, and I'm sure they're going to be the same with me. They're not really going to care what's going on my end. So we got a job to do on our own end. So once that's done, then I'll care about what's going on elsewhere.
How big of a part of your mindset is the title? Is it a case of let's cross that bridge when we get to it and just take it one fight at a time? Is it more like that?
Yeah. I mean, that's the way I personally am. I'm the sort of guy. Each day has a goal and a task to achieve. There's no point. I personally don't. I don't like to look too far ahead. I always say, and people always laugh at me when I say this, but people always say, "Oh, what are you doing next week?" I say, "I don't know. It could be dead tomorrow." So I never say, "Hey, I'm planning on each day, and and then each fight, each training session, each minute of each training session, I care about, and then I worry about what's after that. You know what I mean? So yeah, like haven't considered what's after this. It's what's now. It's Edward. It's 100% October 30, and then we'll worry after that.
You came into one absolutely flying. Looking at your record, what were you? 7-0. 7-0. So the cliche is that you learn more from a loss. Do you agree with that? Like, have you gone back? Have you had a look at that? What
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, yeah, you do. You learn more because you've obviously made mistakes, so you have to learn more. You know what I mean? You've been exposed in an area, so you have to learn from it. You keep winning. You know what I mean? Like you can only go to the drawing board and fix so many things. So I mean, I guess essentially it's just a saying. Whether some people take it wholeheartedly, some people don't. But yeah, I learned a lot from that fight, but in saying that, I learned a lot from that event. That was the first time. I come from a city which is a small town city. And a lot of people have small town thoughts there. It's oh, you can't go off and become a world class fighter. Like, how are you going to do that? It's too hard. And even to this day, my dad is like that. I love my dad with every. He's the best. But I know my dad's heart when it comes to fight time. he gets so anxious and so like we don't even talk. Like I'll ring my dad, I'll be like, Dad, how are you? And he'll be like, yeah, good, what's up? I'm like, and it's a 5 minute conversation, it's over. I'm trying to have a chat with him, but he won't even talk because he's so nervous because he has that small man, mind mentality. Oh, you're my little, my baby son. I'm gonna watch you get in there and fight this, these people, because that they're, in a way, I say this, they're armchair fans. They watch the highlights. Oh, like this guy, yeah, but it's like, of course he's good. You know what I mean? Like we're all good. Anyone who's signed to a major promotion, you're a good fighter. You know what I mean? You got skills. You didn't get here by accident. And my mentality has stepped away from that. Like I said before, I stepped away from that small town mentality. I'm now eyeing off the bigger and better things. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to the biggest challenges of them all. Like my journey so far, one championship is number 3 in the world, and now I'm fighting, one of probably the most decorated legend in our division. And you know what I mean. You want to talk about a tough first week. I don't get much harder than that. So, I'm super excited for the challenges. I really didn't. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. So, you know what I mean. I can't wait to take on the biggest and the best they got for me.
Some people are philosophical about it, right? People approach these things in different ways. Some people are more about the journey, and that actually can have a positive effect. And they don't, like you were alluding to earlier, they don't think too much about the future. They just enjoy it. But how much is a title? How much does it mean to you? Because you're right up there, like you said, you fought 2 of the top guys. You're right in that mix, so it's got to be a big part of your thinking. What would it mean to you? How big of a goal is it? Or on the other side of things, is it actually not so important? Is it about where you are now and everything else you're achieving?
I mean, to tell you the truth, like, to be honest, I mean, of course, like all of us want to win a world title, but to me, it's I'd love to build my way up and fight for that world title, but at the same time, you know what I mean. I got to respect the guys ahead of me, and you know what I mean, and wait my turn. You know what I mean, and wait for the call from one championship to say you're ready, and when they think that I'm ready to fight for that world title, I'm going to be 100%. So once again, like, I don't think too far ahead. Like, I haven't really considered, world title, 20, some guys have like a date on it. I'm like, you know what I mean? How do I know COVID's not going to hit again and we don't fight again for 2 years? How do I know? You know what I mean? So I just want to get in there. I want to compete, at my best ability and prove to the world that, and to myself mainly that, yeah, man, I got what it takes to be one of the best guys in the world. And that's all that matters to me is I want to prove that I'm the best I could be. And that's all that matters to me, whether it's a world title, whether it's legendary status. At the end of the day, I just want to go out there and represent me and what I do, and that's fight hard and that's fight to the end, and that's all I can ever offer.
And so is that your goal going into this fight? Just represent yourself well. He's a great striker, Eduard, and your grappling skills are well documented. Do you think that's that classic matchup, or do you see it being pretty mixed? Or
look, it's going to definitely be a mixed fight. He's not going to be easy to take down. He's not going to be easy to submit. He's showing it. You know what I mean? He's been in some horrible positions and gotten out of them. So I'm excited to test my grappling against his defense. But at the same time, if we do end up standing on the feet, well, then and that's cool. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna have to weather that storm and do my best to beat what he's got. And I believe that I'm a mixed fighter. I'm a mixed martial artist. I've had a lot of experience in a lot of sports, and like I said, I train with some of the best guys in the world, and I've mixed it with them. So I mean, a guy like Eduard Folayang, no disrespect, but you know what I mean. Like I've been with bigger legends. You know what I mean. I've stood toe to toe with them, and shown that I can trade with these guys. I can do what it takes to beat them. So I'm just excited for this challenge.
Looking forward to it, man. Finally, I just want to ask you then about Ongla, since they're your teammates, and Martin. How confident are you that those boys get the job done?
Oh man, you bet houses on them. You know what I mean? They're honestly they're two very inspirational and humbling guys to train with, to call friends, to call teammates. But at the same time, they're very, very dangerous people, man. Like I get to watch them on a regular basis. I get to train with them on a regular basis. And all of us down at Sanford, you know what I mean? Like we come to win. Like That's our like a motto that Coach Jones says is, we don't lose, we just run out of time, and that's what we say. You know what I mean? Like we're here to fight to the very end. We earn everything that we got. A lot of people look at this our gym and be like, I've heard things. Oh, they're the backed by millionaires. They got the money, but it's like, yeah, okay, maybe the gym does, but a lot of us guys, like look at Angla where he comes from. Look at guys like us. We all come from, literally. I was training in my grandma's shed. You know what I mean? That's where I come from. I don't come from money and fame. I come from, my grandma's shed training on my own, for 10 plus years in a sport that was unheard of. I was doing jiu-jitsu and people were saying to me, you do UFC. I was like, no, I do BJJ. Oh, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, until like 2018, people would still say that. And I was like, no, like, so we all come from like very hard, starts. And, we're lucky enough to now be, in an amazing facility with amazing coaches, amazing team, and we're there for a reason. Once again, just like everyone who's signed to a major promotion, we're here because we earn our way to where we are. So, I'm super confident in them and their ability, and it's gonna be a stack. As you all know, it's a stack card. It's gonna be a great show.